Welcome to Living History. Today we step into the fire of revolution. In the voices of Maximillien Robespierre and Marie Antoinette, two figures who never met face to face, we witness the storming of the Bastille and the unraveling of old France. Power, fear, and ideals collide on the blood-stained cobblestones of Paris.
Marie Antoinette, once called Madame Déficit, you spent as France starved. Now your legacy is written in fire.
And you, Robespierre, a man of laws turned executioner. You promised virtue, but delivered death. When I arrived from Austria, I was 14. They dressed me in French silk, placed a crown on my head, and watched me like prey.
The monarchy draped you in wealth, but offered no guidance. You became a symbol, not a sovereign.
I wanted peace. I never asked for war or mobs at the palace gates.
But you played at shepherdess in Versailles gardens, while real shepherds lost their flocks to famine. By 1789, the price of bread had tripled. Paris boiled. The royal court ignored the rising steam.
We were trapped by debt from wars we didn't start. Your American Revolution cost us dearly.
And yet, it inspired us. Liberty was no longer an American idea. It became a French demand.
But liberty without stability is fire without a hearth.
Sometimes the old house must burn before something new can be built. That was the scream of centuries of silence.
You dismantled lives. The governor's head on a pike, paraded like a trophy.
It wasn't the prisoners. It was the symbol. Stone by stone, we dismantled despotism.
That morning I heard shouting from the east. The Bastille, an ancient prison with barely 7 inmates, was under siege.
Louis summoned the Estates General. He tried to listen.
Too little, too late. The Third Estate broke away. We formed the National Assembly. We spoke for the people when the crown would not.
You demanded everything. We were not tyrants. We were trapped by tradition, advisors, and indecision.
Indecision is not innocence. In October, women marched from Paris to Versailles. They demanded bread. You fled.
I did not flee. I stood on the balcony facing them. Some cheered. Others loaded their muskets.
You were taken to Paris under guard. The king now a prisoner in his own city.
We were still king and queen, but only in name.
We tried for reform, constitutional monarchy. But your court plotted in shadows, whispered to foreign powers.
We sought refuge, not domination. But yes, I wrote to Austria. I feared for our children.
And yet your fear fueled our own. War with Austria, invasion, panic, and with it, the seeds of terror.
The king was tried. I watched from the tower as he climbed the scaffold, calm, dignified.
He was not a martyr. He was a monarch who failed to serve his people.
Then why did you flinch as his head fell?
Because the revolution had no brakes. It rolled forward on blood-soaked wheels. Your trial was swift. Treason, collusion with foreign powers, and worse, false charges whispered in fear.
They said I harmed my own son. Lies, invented to justify my death.
Even I would not repeat those charges. But your letters, your appeals to enemy kings, they sealed your fate.
And yet the crowd still jeered. They needed a villain. I stumbled only once. I apologized to the executioner for stepping on his foot.
You faced death with poise. I never denied that.
They cut my hair, bound my hands. I stepped into the cart like a ghost. And you, once adored, now feared? The people turned, even your allies.
I hesitated too long. I trusted too few. And then, I spoke too late.
You were arrested, shot in the jaw. Couldn't even speak at your own trial.
They carried me to the scaffold, the same one you met. I heard the crowd roar, but not in admiration.
We were both condemned, one by excess, the other by extremism.
One born to power, one driven to seize it, yet both consumed by it.
Would you do it all again?
I don't know. Perhaps liberty requires blood, but not so much.
Perhaps mercy is the true revolution.
The Bastille fell, but so did reason, restraint, and royalty. From its ruins, France rebuilt, but the lessons remain. Power unchecked, whether in gold or ideals, can end the same way, beneath the blade. Like and subscribe to Living History for more echoes from the past. And tell us in the comments below which historical figures you would like to see talk about their past.